I wasn't supposed to find out like this. It was 2:13 a.m. and his phone kept buzzing. At first I ignored it. I'm not the type to go through phones if I have to do that. The relationship is already done. But then it buzzed again and again and again, so I looked. One message: she still doesn't know about us? My heart literally dropped. I opened the chat and what I saw made my stomach twist. Pictures, videos, messages going back months, and the worst part, it wasn't just some random girl, it was my own mother. The same woman who raised me, the same woman who hugged me goodnight, the same woman who told me she loved him for me. I felt sick, but instead of waking him up and causing a scene, I did something smarter. I put the phone back exactly how I found it. My name is Mackenzie, and I never thought my life would turn into something like this. Just an hour ago, I found out my boyfriend and my own mother are seeing each other behind my back, and now I'm lying here listening to him snore as if he didn't just destroy my world. After my dad cheated on my mom and walked out on us, I never thought I could trust another man, but somehow I still opened my heart to him, just for him to do this to me. How could he? How could she do this to her own daughter? The sound of his phone ringing jolted me out of my thoughts, and peeping over at the nightstand, I saw it was my mother. Great, how convenient. Feeling him begin to stir, I pretended to be asleep, my heart pounding so hard I thought he could hear it. I watched him fumble for the phone, his eyes still heavy with sleep, completely unaware that I knew. My hands were shaking, my mind spinning with every possibility, every lie they must have shared. I wanted to scream, to throw the phone across the room, to wake him up and demand answers, but something inside me held back. I needed to see the whole picture before I let them know I knew. Because once they realized I wasn't oblivious, there would be no going back. She's asleep beside me, he answered. A soft teasing laugh came through the speaker. I should be the one beside you, she spoke. I know, babe, he said, voice thick and quiet. In due time. I felt my chest crack, tears burning behind my eyes. I pressed my face into the pillow, silent, letting the sobs shake me as I cried myself silently to sleep. My world, everything I thought I knew, was gone. But as the darkness of the night swallowed me, a cold determination started to form. I woke up slowly, my head pounding and my eyes heavy with tears. For a second, I thought maybe it was a dream, that none of this had happened, but the dull ache in my chest told me otherwise. I rubbed my eyes and stumbled toward the kitchen, and then I saw them, my mom, sitting at the table, smiling and casually eating breakfast with him, my boyfriend. I froze, unable to move, unable to speak. All I could do was stand and stare, my mind racing. The daily visits my mom always insisted on suddenly made sense, and the way he always went out of his way to buy her things, gifts, little favors, it all clicked. Every small thing I had shrugged off before, every coincidence I had missed, was right there in front of me. I had been blind, and now, the full weight of what they had done crashed down. Everything, every little sign I ignored, screamed at me. They both looked at me strangely, like I had grown two heads. My mother's smile froze for just a second, and he looked guilty, but not enough to stop the casual ease in his tone. I couldn't stand it, my chest was tight, my stomach twisted, and my hands shook. I blurted out that I was late for work, practically running up the stairs without waiting for a response. I barely remembered to lock the door behind me. In the bathroom, I slammed the shower on, letting the hot water hit me, trying to wash away the nauseous feeling, trying to convince myself that maybe, just maybe, I was dreaming. But I wasn't. Every drop that hit my skin reminded me this was real. Work was slow that day, and I moved through the tasks on autopilot, staring at files and screens while my mind raced. I kept replaying the morning over and over, the words I had overheard, the way they looked at me like I didn't exist. And then, in the middle of sorting invoices, it hit me. I was the one paying the rent for our apartment and for my mother's. I was the one who bought the furniture, who stocked the kitchen, who made sure bills were paid, who covered every little expense they enjoyed as if it was their right. I hadn't even realized it until I pulled up my bank statements and saw all the bills on autopay, the small purchases, the expensive dinners, the gifts he bought her, every little thing they did, every convenience I had given them, had been funded by me. And the worst part, one had missed it: I had trusted them completely. I had opened my heart fully, invested my time, my love, my money, and they had used it all to cover up their betrayal. My hands shook as I stared at the numbers, the truth hitting me harder than any punch. I had been blind, naive, and foolish. But now I knew everything. After reaping the reality of what they had done, I turned off autopay, canceled every subscription, and called the bank to remove both of them as authorized users on my card. I decided I wasn't going home tonight. I called my best friend, the one who owns a moving company and still had a spare key to my apartment, and explained everything: the betrayal, the lies, the way they had used me. She didn't hesitate for a second and immediately agreed to go over, grab my things, and make sure nothing of mine stayed behind for them to manipulate or touch. As I went through my workday, typing emails and answering calls, a sense of satisfaction grew inside me. For the first time since discovering the truth, I felt in control. Every move from here on out was mine, and tomorrow, they would finally see that I wasn't broken. By the time my workday ended, I could barely hold myself together. I went straight to my best friend's house, collapsing into her arms, crying like I hadn't cried in years. Between the sobs, my phone kept buzzing with angry messages from my mother, along with pictures showing all the horrible things she had posted about me online, twisting the story completely. My now ex-boyfriend wouldn't stop texting either. Apologizing, begging me to listen, but I didn't even open most of the messages. I had been through enough. For the first time in months, I saw everything clearly. I blocked them all and made a decision I wasn't going to stay trapped in their lies and manipulation. I found a job in another state, packed my things, and by the end of the week, I was gone. Gone from their world, gone from the betrayal, and finally free to rebuild my own life on my own terms. Most of my family had taken her side, believing her lies, but I wasn't going to force them to see the truth. I had been through enough. For the first time in months, I saw everything clearly. I blocked them all and made a decision I wasn't going to stay trapped in their lies and manipulation. I found a job in another state, packed my things, and by the end of the week, I was gone. Gone from their world, gone from the betrayal, and finally free to move on and heal, no longer blinded by the people who had tried to break me.